And hello to all my Aries friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for January 2023. Now today they've dialed up for you guys a storyline spread. It's a great spread for general readings because it casts a very wide net across the entire sign of Aries. It's like a bunch of mini readings all in one. We're going to be telling a bunch of stories for different Aries. Sometimes it's 3, 4, or 5 different stories if Spirit is very chatty for different Aries. And the whole idea here is to find the story that is right for you. I've had people tell me, and sometimes, they say that multiple stories do and will resonate with them. And if that's the case, that's great. That's just fine. But at the end of the day, there's going to be one story in here that is a home run for you, and that's the one we're trying to find. So we're going to dig into that, and we're going to get that accomplished today. Also, they asked that I conclude your reading with an animal totem. Now, it's just going to be one animal totem, so when that happens, it's the characteristics that they want you to put into play right now, right here for the new year, and start it off strong. Also going to conclude your reading with the runestone. Well, that'll wrap a little bow around this project we call January quite nicely. And let's get started, guys. No reason to wait. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. I'm going to bring you in the overhead view right here above me so you can watch. I like to share my table with you guys. Show you what is going on. There we go. We are on and recording. So what I'm doing now, Aries, these are my ritual cuts, basically cutting each deck into thirds, putting them back together in a separate order, and that satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It is the same procedure for personal private readings, so it's just like you're here with me now. And then they're ready to go. So here we go with the storyline. The best part about the storyline, too, is that they can talk about anything they want. There are no limitations as far as what we talk about here. So here we go. Starts with 5 cards, and I expand out from there where I need to go. These are your core 5, probably the most important cards that you see. And I am going to need more cards than that, so let's keep going. Still going to need more than that, probably off the screen there, half off the screen. No, so I need to come down here to wrap up, and that's going to be my end, actually. So you just got to pretend this is one long line. I know for the sake of the camera it doesn't show, but here is what we're looking at to start with. Now we do have some inverts. Let's count those real quick. Got 4. Out of 8, that's half, that's good distribution. We leave that alone. Now we got to get pairings together. Now for the sake of me seeing this clearly and figuring out, I need to move that off screen for a second. And this is also where the table is going to get very, very full with cards. So very, very, a lot of cards going on here very momentarily once I get this wrapped up. We got a separation here of 2 majors. This one's going to be a standalone. And then over here, Cup, Swords. Okay, so we're looking at 4 stories, guys. It's going to look like this as far as the stories are concerned. I need a lot more information to kind of verify what's going on here. So these are 2 pip cards. We're only going to get 1 card. It's going to be that one. This over here, we got a Major Arcana card and Temperance. That's going to get 2 cards. Just like that. I have another person card that came up in the Queen, so I need to make sure that's not a person. It is actually a person that they're referring to there. So that goes like that for me. And the rest of that is good like it is. And then down here, we got 2 pip cards as well. That's just going to get 1 card to describe kind of both. That is another person card, so I need to verify. Is that a person? That is not. We're using the Energetic Knight. And then over here, I need 2 for a Major Arcana. Again. And that's good. I just need... All right, so now... That's fine. Now I need an Oracle Angel card for every single story, and then check the inverts one more time. So here we go around first the Angel cards. That's also going to help give me facings for certain ones to let me know if I need to do a discard to see if Spirit wants me to upright the whole story or not. So this one up here, let's start there at the very top left. That one's good to be read as is. Down here we have a 2/3 block, so we do need a discard here. And the discard says Spirit wants it all upright. So the order has to stay the same. That is very important in tarot. If not, you will mess up what you're doing. So everything upright here, just like that. Now that story's good. Over here, we are perfect distribution. That's going to be read just like that. And up top, I think we're also good. Yep. So this is it, guys. Now it's just a matter of showing you. I'm going to take this off the stand there and give you a good view. This is going to be story number 1. A lot of wands, a lot of and a pentacle, so working money. Down here, this is going to be story number 2, a little shorter one as well. Big themes on that one. Story 3 is going to be this one. This is a very interesting story. A lot of moving parts there. Very long, very big. And we're going to end with this one, which is very important, knowing what to do and what you should do in this situation here. So story 4 is where, that's going to be the apex of our reading. before we get into the animal totem. Let's get to work, guys. It's time to go, Aries. Story 4 there, story 3 here. Get it out of my way a little bit, make some room. Okay, we're going to come up here. Story 1. Story 1. Like I said, work and money is the theme for story number 1. They first bring in fast traveling news. If you've got recent job news, or, hey, you just made a business decision of some form. Hey, you just decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to open this new coffee shop in January. Hey, I'm going to start an online business in January. This is fast traveling business news. You could very well be with me here in story number 1. They bring in new business that is on a delay. So this is letting me know. See, I caught that a little bit late. So this business is on its way. It's not here right now. So January would not be the time. Unless it's like later January, you're working on launching certain things, or, working on finishing the details, tidying up certain aspects of how the enterprise is going to work. And speaking of work, let me give you the kind of the base definition, because the work corner is a big place. A work corner can be anything from work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement if you're of that age. This can also be about learning something new, entrepreneurship. For most people, it's the JOB, but it's different things for different people, kind of depending on where you're at, Aries. So we have that brand new something in that corner that is not here now, but it's starting to peep its head in. So you're working on it, you're aware of it. And this can also be, probably a small part of the audience, but just throwing it out there. This can be home renovations, doing new things with the home. In this case, if that is the definition we're using for you, they're saying not now, but you're planning on it very, very soon. Okay, so what they talk about last here is money growth, but it's slow, but it's still growth. It shouldn't be discounted. It's a good thing. As long as it's moving in a positive direction, that's the key. And in this economy and in this set of circumstances with, inflation and everything else, that it's hard to get growth. So we got growth coming in story 1. So it's a very good way to start January, guys. And then we end with the Angel Oracle card with clairvoyance, basically saying that, they're helping you see your spiritual sight is being awakened here in January. You guys are kind of being like shaken out of your sleep a little bit here, and waking up to some things. Some spiritual truths are occurring. It might have nothing to do with the job and money. This is just spirit saying, hey, if this is you for the rest of this stuff, this is what we also want to tell you in addition to that. So there we go for story 1. Good way to start, guys. Story 2, we're kind of going to come down here. This is it's a short story, but it's big themed, very large themes going on here. The first thing that they bring up that they want you to attach to, or, figure out if this is about you or not, is my Hierophant card, which is the card about taking care of others, taking care of your flock. It's like the pastor, how he takes care of the congregation, in the same way that you take care of your people, your tribe, your group. That's what they bring up, but it's also about doing things the right way. So this is something where there can be no toxicity. Maybe there was some before. This is a situation here in story 2 where you're at a good place. So we need to keep it good. Okay, so no cutting corners, no doing things shady. This is keeping things on the up and up so that this energy permeates, it keeps going, and you keep this positive momentum going. They do show the Empress card, so it's a tough card to read in general readings because it has so many definitions. Let me give you a few just so you get the energy. But the Empress card is the divine feminine. So it also means fertility. It means fertility with birth, but it means fertility like in the dirt too, like groundwork, new ideas. Like we talked about, new business in story 1 on its way. So the playing field for you, Aries, here in story 2 is very ripe. It's very good to do a lot of new things. There's a lot of growth potential here. And we do talk about money in a second with the Hoarder card. So when growth comes in here, it can be a multitude of different things and for different people. Of course, in a general, very hard to pinpoint. It's really why you need a personal. But just to give you the vibe, that's what that is. Now, they also talk about my Hoarder card with a little bit of money coming into this situation and what this has to do with. In this case, they refer to it as hoarding too much. So it's just like you've been hanging on to it for too long. It's actually time to let it go a little bit here. Now, this may not be money for everybody. I'm going to give you both definitions. If some of you have been saving and you're very frugal, you're very cheap, you know what? This is the month where maybe you should splurge a little bit. Maybe you should pick up a few things that you really need. Something like that. Spirit's giving you the okay here, especially if it's about helping your people, helping your family and so forth, and doing things, getting good deals, doing what you can here. You're getting the green light to go ahead and move forward with it. It's very good to see. Now, if it's the energetic definition that we're referring to here, this is something you need to really let go of just in general. Maybe it's a person. Maybe it's emotional baggage, something different. It could be just about anybody. It could be actual stuff. Maybe you got an old hobby collection you got to sell. Maybe you got something in the garage that's just sitting there collecting dust. You just got to sell it, get some money out of it, and maybe just clear it out in general. Donate it, whatever it is. So that's going to be very full moon energy, guys. We're going to talk about that with your moon cycles after we hit story 3. So we're going to come back to that. But we end with comfort. Your angel oracle card that came in with story 2 is comfort. So basically saying first of all, they're letting you know that a lot of you, if you're here in story 2, you are healing. Okay. So you've been through some things and now it's, you're in recovery mode. You're on the mend. Okay. So very good. But also, like the angels are doing their part too behind the scenes. Like they're really helping your heart to heal. So they're putting you in good situations around good people, good environments, so that you don't let the toxic stuff in again, because we go back to that card. So there we go. Story 2, very good. Story 3, let's go up top. They bring in a woman here. This does not mean it's for a spread for the woman, because if you're a woman viewing this spread, more than likely, you already know that this story is going to be about you or not, so they don't need to say it's you twice. So this is another woman. If you're a male viewing this, they could just be, your wife or, another woman in your life, maybe your mom, depending on who it is. So they bring in a woman first, okay? Let's just leave it at that until we get into the description so you can understand kind of where they're going with it. They bring in woman who's actually sitting in a good spot here, but there's impatience all around her. So I don't know if that means that, it's the environment, that chaotic environment, maybe at work. They don't say that. They actually say more in the mind. So it's kind of more of like a mental health thing or a stress, anxiety thing that is causing a lot of impatience, causing a lot of unsettlement, maybe with the family. So the woman here is actually the one who is seeing things clear here, and the one who is on the up and up, or at least, maybe not feeling in the greatest of moods with this situation, but handling it very well in a very grounding way. Okay, so the next thing we show here is, I think, why the impatience comes, and it's because there's a level of heartbreak going on here. So something very, very sharp has basically penetrated the heart here. So it is a sword, which leads to the logical, it's the cerebral suit, but the heart is the emotional center. So here, both of these are kind of being berated. They're both kind of it hits them both the same way. So this is like a heavy thing that a lot of my Aries here in story 3 have gone through or are going through. And hopefully are working towards overcoming in January. It's not for everybody, of course, in a general reading. You got to kind of put the context together, what's for you, what's not. But there is a hard part of that here that is very hard on your mind. Hard for you to wrap your mind around, hard for you to kind of understand the why of what happened here, or, how you got to where you're at. But the next thing they show here is Ace of Swords. It is on an invert. So this is new ideas. And they're basically saying here, you haven't thought of the other side of this. There's another side of this whole story that your mental tricks are not allowing you to experiment with. They're not allowing you to even consider, really. So the thought process is very one-sided. They really are kind of, I guess, if you really want to get into it, are asking for you to maybe forgive and show love, and to kind of try to understand the other side more than just what is presented to you. Maybe there's more to the story that you don't understand. And they also show that this has really kind of bound you down mentally. Like mentally, it's just like pinned you to the ground. I mean, in the card, it's pictured as a guy with 10 swords in his back. He's just absolutely pinned down like a pincushion on the ground. So that's how you feel in your mind if you're here with me in story 3, or who this person is that they're referring to. And I got the Queen, actually, now that I'm kind of seeing this from another view, I see the Queen has got her back to this whole thing. So this is more past related. This is not something that is going to happen in January. This is something that you're dealing with that has happened prior, but the attachment and the cordage has still worked its way through. It's still bonded to you, especially up here, and you're just trying to move forward. Even if you feel like you're not, even if you feel like forward is the wrong way, or I'm not sure which way is forward. They bring in counselor here, so they're letting you know some of you could actually benefit by talking to people about this, and some of you it's the other way around, where other people going through situations like this could really benefit from talking to you. And that is the wonderful gift of teaching and counseling. And they bring in here that you are a natural counselor, and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. So it's kind of like what I just said. So this can be either way. This could be you seeking the help or the talking, just talking out your feelings, even if you're by yourself, talking to the mirror or talking to the air, talking to, praying or whatever you're doing, you can really kind of let a lot out and kind of figure out and kind of, expunge and kind of like exfoliate your soul a little bit here and just kind of get some things off your chest just by talking to somebody, just by opening up and letting things out, not letting things get bottled up for too long and brewing and so forth. So counselor comes up to wrap up story 3. Very good, guys. So we're going to break away real quick to go over the moon cycles, and we talked about a lot of purging full moon stuff for you guys. Coming back with story 4, where there's a very specific situation going on that we're going to address. Okay, guys, it is moon cycle forecast time. Let's talk about those moon cycles because we have the most lunar activity now, January and February until August, guys. So these 2 months are going to be huge. Let's talk about January. The first thing that comes in January is on January 6th. This is going to be a micro full moon. It's called the wolf moon because it's the first full moon of the year of 2023. And the full moon is the best time to get anything out of your life that doesn't fit there, that you don't want there in general. Hey, you just got to get it out. It doesn't matter what it is. The universe doesn't care. We've done very specific spreads this month, and it doesn't matter if it's something we've talked about or not. Let's say it's something, for some of you it's people. You got to get people out of your life. For some of you, you got to sell something. You got to repurpose something to get it out of your life. Emotional baggage, stress, anxiety. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's something that's got to go and be removed from your life, let's say certain eating habits, the whole bit. It's full moon energy, guys, and the best time to do that is the first week of January. This is very much, New Year's resolution stuff is when you do new things. Well, actually, the way that the moon cycles line up, that's not the case. It's actually the best at the beginning of the new year to get rid of something out of your life with that full moon energy. Now, adversely, and what does micro mean? Micro just means that it's small in the sky. So it's smaller visibly than normal. And, does that mean that it doesn't work as well? No, not really. You can still get it done. It's, the energy is lightened a little bit. But let's talk about that new moon because that's the opposite. That we have another super new moon coming in January. We just had one in December. We're going to have another one in February. And right now in January, the sky is going to be huge. It is the super new moon. It happens on January 21st. So, don't focus on the end of the month because that gets back into the full moon eking in from February. But let's call it the third week. The third week of January is the best time to bring actually anything brand new into your life. That New Year's resolution stuff, save it for week 3. I'm telling you, much better chance of getting it to stick and making it apply. And you can just use this new year between now and then as preparation time to get ready for these changes that you're trying to make. And what are you trying to bring new into your life? Well, like I said, the universe doesn't care. It doesn't matter what you use it for. You can use it to attract new love. You can use it to attract new finances. Do something new with work, something new with health. It doesn't matter. So if it's something new, the third week of January is going to be your target time for that, so please stick to that. It's going to help it just move a little smoother. And if any of this has confused you, I've put together a moon cycle cheat sheet. It is for free, and it is on my website. You can check that out anytime. It's on my videos tab. Go to the bottom there. You can see the moon cycle cheat sheet, and it shows you how these energies flow in and out and how best to align important decisions in your own life to them to make things go a little smoother. That's what it's all about, guys. While you're at the website, make sure you're signed up for the newsletter program. That's at the sign up for that is at the very bottom of every single page, as well as follow the Facebook page because I do giveaways on there, as well as my newsletter people get giveaways as well. And I only send one newsletter email every single month. It's just for promo codes and updates, see what's going on. We're always doing new and fun things on the channel, on the site. And also, guys, now I need to tell you about the new product. Speaking of new fun things, I have my quadrants video. I only do these in January, guys, and this is releasing on January 3rd. If you're checking out this video after January 3rd, it's going to autoplay after your reading. But if not, you guys are going to have to check it out. But it's going to be available and posted everywhere, YouTube, Facebook, on my website, the whole bit. Check out your quadrants video. It forecasts the entire year for your sign, and we're looking at what is the best quadrant, what is the best quadrant is basically a circle that's broken into 4 parts. So this is your year. What quadrant, what quarter is the best for you, for work, for health, for love? What is the best quadrant to take a vacation in? What is the best quadrant for you to be a little conservative? What's the best quadrant for you to get busy and take risks? All these things are going to be looked at in the quadrants video. You can get a sampling of that for yourself for the sign. and that's going to be available to everybody. But let's say you want quadrants done just for you. This is the first time I'm releasing this, guys, as a personal audio product. It is part of the mini product line, and this allows you great planning and preparation tools for the entire year. It's the only time I offer this, and it forecasts the entire year. So this is all about you, so it's extremely accurate. And looking at all these things, it's a huge drop of information, guys. It's the best, probably the best bang for your buck. Anytime I've done this for friends, for colleagues, for clients, they always say, you know, if you only get one thing a year, this is like the best thing to do, because it outlines everything that is important and relevant. So, and you guys get to check that out for free, a little sampling in the general reading. But if that's not good enough for you, you want something that's all about you, the Quadrants video is now available as a personal audio product on the website, and it's extremely affordable, best bang for your buck you can get. Speaking of new things on the website, guys, I got to tell you about the shop. We got Tiger's Eye gemstones going in on the shop, and I'm going to be flashing pictures up as I talk about it here. We got the standard golden Tiger's Eye. We got the red flare Tiger's Eye. It's just red Tiger's Eye. I call it flare because it's so shiny. And then we got the blue Tiger's Eye, also very, very shiny, very deep dark blue. And they all kind of vibrate a little bit differently, but they're all kind of the same major themes. Tiger's Eye is really good for negating any kind of negative energy, transmuting it basically, and it's also good for insight and seeing things very clearly, and a whole host of other things as far as medical reasons too, medical things that it really does to boost your body. So a whole host of different things. I'm not going to we got to get back to your reading. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it, but the whole write-up is on the website, scottsagent.com. You can check out all three of them and the differences between each of them. And also available, I got a few keychains to go with them. There's a few individual products for keychains. And the best part about the whole thing is what it comes with. Any kind of gemstone purchase is going to come with a free little nylon drawstring bag, a little way to carry your gemstone, and also a little pendant, which is going to be a separate gemstone. Both of those are going to come for free. Okay, well, what if I just buy one gemstone? Do I still get that stuff for free? Yes, you do. You absolutely do. You get all of it with every purchase. Now, it's only one per month, guys, but you know what? Most people are only going to make one purchase a month anyway. So you're getting all this free stuff with any gemstone purchase, and you can read that right up online. It's a no-brainer, guys. Make sure you check out all three of those beautiful Tiger's Eyes. Now let's get back to your reading. Okay, Aries, we are back here with story number 4. The first thing that comes in as the attachment is concerned is two people in love. Okay, so this is for my coupled up people. This is also for maybe if you're dating and you're just really heavy with somebody else, or it may not be romantic either. That is where I have to start, but this can also be just love in general. So like, you love your sibling, right? Well, I mean, the love is the love. It's just whether it's romantic or not. And the card doesn't care about that kind of stuff. So they show two people together in the month of January. That's very good. That's also a good love kind of note and connotation in general for if you're looking for love too. And that this can be a very good coupled up time here in January. The field is open. It goes back to the ripeness that we talked about in story 3, where the field is ripe, or in this case, the suitors maybe are ripe, and you have some good ones to choose from. Okay, something like that. Now, what they say, interestingly enough, though, is not at work, though. We have inaction with wands, which is my Knight of Wands on an invert. It's basically saying no at the workplace. Not at the workplace, though. So if this is like somebody, an interest of yours that's at work, Spirit doesn't think that's a good idea. Not a good match for you, okay? Just something to consider. Now, the last thing we show is also an emotional attachment here with children or nostalgia. So we have the kind of the kids card upside down. Maybe we need more energy on the kids in January. Maybe they're bringing up that you just need to be very mature, very emotionally mature. And for Aries being a fire sign, you guys can get very hot, and sometimes you react emotionally instead of really thinking about it first. So that is something that they want you to consider in this situation, especially in January in general. Taste the words before they roll off your tongue, so to speak. Now, it feels very situational, actually, because this may be kind of different pieces for different people, but at the same time, it does kind of feel like maybe it's just a few people. I'm not sure, but this is a very specific story almost being unfolded here, and some of you are a little not sure about what to do. So Spirit is saying here, if they haven't already given you enough to figure it out, you already know what to do. So that's the good news, is that I don't have to tell you what to do. You already got it, you kind of already know. Now, whether you trust yourself, that's a completely other story. Who knows as what to say there. But in the card itself, it says, trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. So no procrastination. Just figure out yes or no with this. And speaking of yes or no, that sounds very familiar. It sounds like a personal product I offer on my website. So if that's something that is, you're between left and right, yes or no, that's something that we can check out for you on a personal level. Now, the other thing with the kids card being inverted is that maybe this other person doesn't have kids or doesn't want kids. We have kids upside down, right? So we got to figure out why they're upside down. So I gave you a few different examples of why that could be, and hopefully enough context for you to figure it out if that's you there in story number 4. So let's get into your runestone, guys, and then we're going to pull an animal totem to conclude what has been a very interesting reading for Aries to start off the year. These are already mixed up. Just give them one more swirl, and we're ready to go. All right, so Aries, runestone. It's going to be this one right here. I don't see this one very much. I believe it's held like this. This is the runestone of Gateway. So there is like a portal system opening here of possibilities. It makes me feel like a fork in the road, except a fork in the road that's like times 100. There's 100 different ways Aries can go. Probably why they wanted to do a storyline, so we kind of broke one reading down into 4 at least to kind of bring you in on a more accurate level here. But we got Gateway going on, so Aries going a bunch of different ways, lots of different possibilities that can happen. Hopefully you guys are making good decisions and moving things in a good direction, a positive direction. It's going to be very relevant as far as where you end up in future months, what you do right now when we have Gateway. This is the step. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure book. I don't know if any of you remember those, but you choose this one, it takes you to this page, and then that sets off the next chain of events of what happens, and that is very much what January feels like to me. So let's get into your animal totem, guys. Animal totem, they want one. It's going to be that one right there. I do have that one on my list. Need to see what it is because I have so many animal totems that they are not in my head yet. One day they will be, but not now. All right, so that is my 6 of Pentacles on an upright. That is going to be a flamingo, guys. Flamingo. So we got pink energy going on, very feminine energy. Where did we talk about that before? Oh, maybe the Empress card in story, what was it, 2 or 3? I think it was 2. Story 2 with the Empress card, very fertile ground, very strong fertility and women energy going on. So with flamingo, it is a bird, but it is not really known for its flying. It's more known for its beauty. Very beautiful, serene bird, very well balanced, okay? So it's a good month for balance, just like the flamingo perches itself up on one leg, tucks the other one in, puts its head down and takes a nap. Find the balance in January, find the beauty in January, and also, the color pink is going to be relevant to some people in the month of January. So that is the entire thing, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future videos. That is it for me. Have a happy new year and have a wonderful January. Why don't you?